Hello, my name is Miles Johnson,
Hello, my name is Anwar Molid.
I'm Jamar Hester Jr.
and today we'll be rating CNN's top 15 Halloween costumes of 2024. Okay, so we'll start from the bottom of the list at number 15 is Soldier Boy. So what do we think about this costume based on creativity, affordability, and recognizability?
Creativity, I probably give it like a 7 or 8. Seen it before, but it's not like common. Affordability, I'd say it's probably really affordable. Get like a jersey, a hat, and then like a couple of fake chains, and then
Like if someone like recognizes
yeah.
it.
I'd say probably like a 9 out of 10. It's very recognizable. You'd be able to tell if somebody's Soldier Boy.
Yeah, I personally I haven't seen a Soldier Boy costume out, so I think it's pretty creative, but I've seen it like online and stuff like that. And I also feel like it would be a really affordable costume cuz I'm pretty sure like they just do like the blue hat and the glasses that say Soldier Boy. So I think that's it. And for recognizability, I think that like if people our age would understand it, but I'm not sure like how well like people's parents would recognize the costume.
I also think that the Soldier Boy Halloween costume is pretty creative, and you can also tell that it's mainly a Soldier Boy costume because it basically says his name on the sunglasses as well.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to number 14. We're kind of having a little bit of recurring themes here, but it is Joy from Inside Out. Personally, I hate how she looks. Okay, if I see
Same.
someone with a Joy costume, I think it might be on site because her
Kicked out the
haircut is
function.
ugly. Her haircut is ugly, first of all. Why would you want to look ugly on Halloween? That's my thing. And I feel like not really a creative costume. We've seen it when Inside Out 1 came out. People were dressing up as Joy. Now Inside Out 2, people are dressing up as Joy. And I'm just like, be more creative. Maybe try some of the other emotions that were like introduced. And do you really want to paint yourself yellow all night?
Yeah, I would agree to Miles. Couldn't do the yellow, all yellow. That would be terrible. Would be terrible to see somebody with that. Kind of be embarrassing, I think. But I think people would recognize you. That's probably the only good thing about it is you'd be recognizable. And I don't know, maybe somebody will put it on right, and it'll be a great costume.
I also agree with Miles as well. It looks pretty plain, just a yellow dress and blue hair. Nothing special about it.
Okay, moving on to number 13. Shadow the Hedgehog from from Sonic.
10.
10. That's an original one. I can't say I've seen many hedgehogs out and about. I do like it because I think it has like a cool color scheme. It's like black and red, and I think that would be pretty cool. It's also, but the only issue I have with it is I don't really understand how people could really dress up like that and be like recognizable. Because I feel like a lot of people would just wear the colors, but I mean, you kind of got to go all out with the hedgehog head and everything.
Yeah, I think if you like commit to it, you gotta fully commit. You gotta wear like a whole costume and everything. Like you can't just wear the colors on that part. But I do think it is very creative, and I don't think I'll see anybody that does it. So yeah,
For me, it's a 10 out of 10. Pretty comfy, and it has a nice design as well.
I think it also could be a good duo costume, Sonic
Yeah.
and Shadow. Okay, moving on to number 12. This is one I feel like will make it into the top 20 every single year, but it's a Minion from Despicable Me. I like the costume, just very overdone at this point. But, like, I mean, maybe you could switch it up. Maybe be a purple Minion instead of just the normal yellow ones.
from experience, I was actually a minion last year. So yeah, pretty used costume. Um, I've seen a lot of different though like designs for it. Like some people wear onesies, some people actually wear costumes, some people just like make the glasses and like dye themselves pink. I'm not pink, but yellow. So yeah, it's creative in that aspect. But like besides that, like you'll obviously get recognized.
hmm Um, I'm honestly for the minion costumes. If you are dressing up in a group, I'm all for it because I think it's really creative for like Gru Vector minions. But if we're just doing minions, I think we're gonna need to reevaluate that. Okay, and moving on to number 11, we have just people from the Dune franchise. I personally have not seen that movie yet, so I can't comment too much on that one.
Haven't seen the movie either. You know, I've been on TikTok. I've seen it. I've seen the like Paul Atreides thing. Uh, it's pretty corny to me. I don't think like. Yeah, I don't think it would be a good costume idea. But you know, that's just my opinion.
I'm gonna say no on Timothy Chalamet's character, but yes on Zendaya's character, even though I haven't seen it. Okay, next would be Gambit from Deadpool and Wolverine.
I feel like this one would be a very good costume if you did it right. But I feel like if you went to like Party City and stuff like that, it's gonna be like very cheap material and it's just gonna look bad, like most costumes do from that. So in that aspect, I think it'll be like it won't be a good costume, and you're probably not gonna get recognized
Mm.
if you go to a party. So
Yeah, I feel like that's a costume that could be done well, but it's kind of a costume that I feel like you kind of have to put the money and like work behind it to really make it come to life. Okay, and moving on to number 9, we're back on the Inside Out 2 train with Anxiety. I like that one more than Joy because obviously it's something new. It's a movie that came out this year, but also Anxiety's ugly. Okay, the hair is a mess. Like, again, you're gonna have to paint yourself orange, getting it all over. So I'm not really all for that one.
yeah, like I said earlier with Joy, I think you get recognized, but genuinely, I don't know how you pull out an anxiety even costume. To be honest, it would be all over the place in my opinion. It wouldn't be a good idea to do.
I think, but it's pretty unique because of her hair,
Hmm.
which would make people know that it's anxiety and recognizable.
Yeah. And then moving on to number 8, again from Deadpool and Wolverine, but just Wolverine. I think that's honestly like a timeless costume. There's been Wolverine movies throughout the years, and I think Wolverine's always a nice costume if you do it right. If you don't just get a very cheap looking costume and it doesn't fit right, but if you really do it right, I think it could be a great costume.
Yeah, like you said, just I think it's a solid costume around the board. Can't go wrong with it. I just feel like you have to get the right costume. Like you can't get a cheap one at like Party City and stuff like that for it to look good.
And then moving on to number 7, Disgust from Inside Out. Personally, Disgust is my favorite from the movies. I think she's really funny, but again, all body paint. I think out of all of them that we've talked about so far, this one would be the easiest one to do because, I mean, the wig is kind of just like a basic wig. It's kind of just like a bob cut, and she just has like a green dress. So I think that one would be pretty easy to do out of all of them so far. But yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not really with the Inside Out costume thing. I don't really get the. I seen the movie. It was alright. I don't know why it's like trending, but like you said, it'll be an easy costume to do. You don't have to dye yourself like green to be recognized like the rest of them.
I feel like a lot of the Inside Out on this list is just coming from millennials, not really like Gen Z, because we all know how millennials love to just be different and love like quirky movies. So then moving on to number 6, we have Anger from Inside Out. How do we feel about all this Inside Out and Anger being one of the highest ones on this list?
I mean, for number 5, it's kind of 5 or 6.
6.
For 6, it's kind of insane. There's a lot of good movies that came out this year. I feel like it should be 6. Like, it could probably be in the top 15, but 6 is kind of crazy, especially with all the Inside Out. So.
I would rate this outfit solid 8 because Anger is my favorite character from Inside Out, and it's pretty unique.
Yeah, if it is pulled off like right though, it will be a good costume.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this one's just so high because a lot of people kind of relate to Anger and just his like personality, and I think they find him like a funny character, and usually funny characters are done the most during Halloween.
And it's affordable too.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to number 5. This one surprised me. It's a Chipotle burrito. I don't really know how you dress up as a Chipotle burrito, but I'm honestly, if I saw a Chipotle burrito at a party, I would round of applause because that's honestly creative.
I've seen a couple on TikTok. It's like they're full bodysuits of like a Chipotle burrito. I don't think it would be a good idea to be dressed up as just a full bodysuit of a Chipotle burrito, to be honest. And Yeah, it's not a bad costume, but me personally, I wouldn't do it.
Someone might try to eat you.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to number 4. Another one from Deadpool and Wolverine is Lady Deadpool. What I'm noticing is just like the big movies this year that are coming out is just kind of what everyone's going towards. So honestly, I'm gonna say if a movie is on this list more than once, it's not very original. You should probably try to switch it up a little bit because Halloween's all about originality and being different than everyone else. But out of mostly the people from that movie, I think Lady Deadpool is a pretty nice costume. I think it could be done well.
I think it's pretty original. I don't like. I've never seen a Lady Deadpool either like in person or on the internet before the movie. So yeah, I think it's just an original costume. Good idea. Wouldn't be that hard to pull off, and it seems pretty affordable since there's Deadpool costumes.
And then coming in at number 3, honestly, this might be one of my favorite costumes on the list, but it is Sabrina Carpenter. She's a nice up and coming pop star right now. She's pretty popular, and I think throughout her like tours and her albums, she has a bunch of costumes and dresses that she wears. So you could really go with a lot of different things, and even if you're dressed up as Sabrina Carpenter and someone else is, there you guys could have completely different outfits and vibes because she does change it up so much.
Yeah, I think it would with like everybody knows who she is, and I think it would be like good party vlogs, and people would recognize you very well. And I don't think it would be like a very expensive thing to do. And I think it's just like original and not original, but like just great all around, and anybody can do it.
Being a Sabrina Carpenter fan, I think I would definitely try one of these. And they look very cool and nice.
Yep. Okay, moving on to number 2, we have Envy from Inside Out 2.
Enough Inside Out. That's all I gotta say. There's too much Inside Out, and yeah, she's basically just sadness and like disgust mixed as a fuck. That would be your costume.
Yeah, I agree. I think we should just move on to number 1. So a little backstory on this one. The most popular costume this year is Raygun, an Australian breakdancer. She went viral on the internet for just being a terrible dancer, yet still making it to the Olympics. And honestly, again, no one from Gen Z is dressing up as Raygun. This is a millennial thing. They think it's so funny. And honestly, I kind of see it for them because millennials cannot dance. So it's honestly a fitting costume, and it's pretty easy. It's just a jumpsuit with a green hat, so I feel like anyone could do it. But it's not very creative if everyone is doing it.
Didn't know who she was until
The Olympics.
15 minutes ago. So, as what I've seen, it's not like to me. It's not very like original and funny. It's kind of like, what are you doing? Like he said, it is a millennial thing. Like I don't think any Gen Z person would wear that. And I think this list is like just like Gen Z based. I feel like it's nothing like that's like really like hip.
Yeah. Okay, and to close on out our podcast, you guys can look at the list once more if you need to, but we're just going to go around and say probably our like top 3 out of the 15 that we like the most. So I guess I'll go first. My top 3 would probably be number 1, Sabrina Carpenter, because I think it could also just be done so well and there's so much variety. And then my number 2 would probably be a Minion from Despicable Me. I love Minions. Banana. I think that is it's so nice how much you can do with it. My third one would probably be Shadow the Hedgehog.
My first would probably be Shadow the Hedgehog. He's a fan of Shadow. He's sick. 2 for me would probably be Lady Deadpool. I think it's original, and especially with the movie, it would be very cool to see. And 3, I'm a big Chipotle guy, so I'd probably say Chipotle burrito. If I saw someone wearing a Chipotle burrito, I'd probably follow them around the whole party.
For me, my top 3 is going to be number 1, Anger. My favorite character from Inside Out. Number 2, I'll say Wolverine. I watch every Wolverine movie. My third has to be Despicable Me.
Okay, perfect. I think that's wrapping it up today. I hope everyone has a very safe and happy Halloween, and we'll see you guys later.
We'll be back with Christmas ranking, guys. Don't worry.